Hello and welcome to a special edition WhiskAYE podcast. This is not our usual programmed, I say programmed, but our usual
Scheduled is not really the word.
scheduled,
Yeah.
uh, but not actually scheduled content. But this is a special edition. We've got, I think, 4 podcasts lined up from a special purchase we were able to get through the same channels as our usual content arrives by being friends of the podcast, we'll call them, and also we are their patron. But yeah, the Dram team put us on to all their subscribers were put onto a sort of once ever opportunity, not even in a lifetime, just in
Yep.
this is the only time you're going to get this chance, I think, because we're going to be drinking the first, not drinking the whole thing, the first 6 whiskies of the second edition of the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar. Now, this was made available because, unfortunately, the Secret Spirits company that made this, they were ceasing trading, but they had some backstock of an old. I think this is the 2022 Advent Calendar, which we bought in 2023. But they basically had to. They were just trying to liquidate their assets, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it's even older than that because I've just opened the front of it, and we have "Welcome to the second edition of the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar." And it says, "For those of you that enjoyed the first edition in 2014, welcome
Oh, there you
back."
go. So it's a very old one,
So it's been sitting around for a while, but yeah,
and we got it for half the price.
half the price, yes.
Yep.
And it was good value at its first price because I think its original price was £200 for
$2.50, I think.
250, but for 25, well, yeah, 25 doubles more or less.
Yep.
So
And
50
you'll
measures,
see how good they are.
yeah, works out about a fiver a measure of whiskey here.
Yep.
And because they're double bottles, I have my Holyrood Distillery wee pint glass looking jigger to measure out a
I can't kick
25.
myself. I didn't get one of those. They were cool.
Yeah, measure out a 25 mil rather than drinking the whole 6 doubles. I'd be not really able to get to the end of this.
Yeah. I also have a jigger ready to go.
Yeah. So I'll read you the blurb and then we'll get into some whiskey.
Sounds good.
The booklet that came with. You should also we have recorded the box opening. I've selflessly opened every single one, so there's no surprises left for me. But there's a recording showing the box opening, and that shows this little card that we have here.
If the editor does his job.
Yeah. So the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar is first and foremost a champion of independent bottling, which has been an integral part of the Scotch whisky story and has helped to shape the industry over the past 200 years. As we make our way through this year's edition, with interesting and rare expressions, we hope that you will enter into a spirit of exploration and discovery. This year, for the first time, we also welcome some international whisky enthusiasts to the calendar community, as we have made a small amount available in a select few countries outside Canada, where they first started, I believe. You can join in on the daily blog. Well, maybe not anymore, but they had a daily blog where they did post tasting notes for the day's dram and some interesting history and facts about distillery of the day. We are one of the lucky few to either purchase and receive this limited run. There was only 2,000, so they're numbered, but mine was 1-5 something.
Don't know where it's numbered. Otherwise, I'd tell you.
And inside the left door.
1572.
Yeah, we at Secret Spirits thank you for becoming part of this year's community and hope to hear from you on the blog comments. Blah blah blah. Anyway. There's also we got a Spiegelau tasting glass, which is
very cool.
Very cool. Again, there's a little video of that which will hopefully get edited in. It took me 2 attempts to video opening that part of the box and taking it out because it was quite well. I mean, gladly so, but it was quite well packaged. Then there's some more information on some of the bottlers that they've used in here. So when we get to them, I might pop back. But yes. So I don't know if you've opened up your calendar yet.
I haven't opened up number 1 yet. I shall do so now. Any hints?
Enter into it's an age statement.
An age statement. Okay.
Yep, you'll be happy with it. It's a single cask.
Okay.
From Speyside.
These are difficult to open with them being
They are tricky.
Age statement, single cask Speyside. Okay. Yep. Oh. Yep. Okay. Do you want to tell us what it is? Or?
I can tell you what it is. This is the 1999 Tom and Tool 15-year-old bottled by A.D. Rattray. The cask number, if anyone minds, is 9289, and it's a single cask, but actually it's a single butt because it comes from a sherry butt. I think managed to get a little over 380 bottles out of that. So started at 500 litres and ended up probably about half that because it's been in there for 15 years.
Yep. And it's a cask strength, isn't it?
Yes, this is cask strength. So I've got the strengths. I did manage to find them. They're not written on the bottles. Oh, no, they are now. I didn't see that. But yeah, I did find them. So 61%.
61% as an opening gambit. Why not? You know?
Yeah. Would you like to hear a bit about A.D. Rattray?
Yes, I would. While I measure out my first dram.
Founded by Andrew Dewar Rattray in 1868, A.D. Rattray began trading as an importer of French wines, Italian spirits, and olive oil. More importantly, however, the company also established itself as a specialist in the field of blending and storage of malt and grain whiskies. In the latter part of the 1800s, A.D. Rattray Limited came to represent a number of well-known Highland malt distilleries, most notably Stronach, selling bulk whisky to the west of Scotland wine and spirit merchants, publicans, and the main Scottish whisky blending houses in and around Glasgow. Like many other merchants, A.D. Rattray suffered during the crisis of the early 1900s, and in the late 1920s, the partners sold the business to William Walker. Well established as a whisky broker, Walker set about expanding the business with the acquisition of a number of smaller merchants. Despite rationing during the Second World War, the company continued to supply the west of Scotland, licensed trade, until Walker's death. A.D. Rattray Limited has now returned to the family and is owned by Mr. Tim Morrison, previously of Morrison Bowmore Distillers, and fourth-generation descendant of Andrew Dewar Rattray. The company's resurgence came about in 2002 with the bottling of a new Stronach 12-year-old in April 2004. Using his extensive knowledge and expertise in the whisky industry, Mr. Morrison then bottled a selection of his own hand-picked stock of whiskies for market release, and the A.D. Rattray Cask Collection was born. Today, the company's principal purpose is to promote the Stronach, WhiskAYE, and Banknote brands, and bottle unusual and exclusive casks of Scotch whisky as part of the A.D. Rattray Cask Collection range, which this is one of. So,
lots of history there then.
Yeah. Now, there's one of these, but I think we have one from each of the bottlers that are written in the booklet, but I was going to suggest that because there's going to be 4 episodes and there's 4 bottlers that will do one for each episode.
Okay.
A couple of pages.
Yeah, that's fair. Makes sense to me.
Also, I didn't realise that they had tasting notes. I'm going to see if the website's still live in a minute, and we'll go into it. But I did manage to find some tasting notes from some perusal of the internet.
So it's quite oaky, quite vanilla-y, which is weird for a sherry one, actually. Maybe like orchard fruits.
I'm just trying to get my measure.
Bit of legs, bit of oil.
These might be 35 ml, like 70 ml bottles.
Yeah, I did just do a 25, and it doesn't look fully half, but I think they are 50 ml. It's probably just I didn't pour right up to the blooming meniscus of the thing.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Anyway, either that or next time I'm going to have some pretty strong singles when I measure these out.
Yeah, there's third. The silent partner's going to enjoy his half of this.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So
quite sweet, quite oaky.
I would say, yeah, I would agree with that. There's a bit of some fruitiness on it.
Yeah.
Spicy as well.
I don't know if that's because of the 61%, to be fair.
I think that's still a fair tasting note, though.
Yeah.
If you can hear someone, that's not me drinking. That's a dog in the background. I've not poured this into a trough and just started lapping at it.
So
I saved that
I
for
just went
after
in
the
for my
podcast.
first taste.
Oh,
That is spicy. That is. Oof. I don't know if it's just been a while that I've had a whiskey over 60%, but I mean, it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. That is a sherry bomb and a half. Jesus Christ.
So, first of all, the nosy notes I managed to get were syrup, plums, figs, lemon, and spice. Interestingly,
Yeah, I mean, fruity, sweet.
I've attempted to go to that blog. I'm going to guess that they have lapsed on their.
Well, why don't we do a revisit?
Well, yeah,
In the next episode, we'll do in the previous episode.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think their blog is still live, so we'll have to rely on the internet searches that I have managed to gather information on these.
Wayback Machine it, but yeah, one or two.
I think I don't even know if we can get the Wayback Machine because I think they've lapsed on paying for their internet address, so it's a different address now.
Fair. Okay. Have you had a taste yet?
No, I'm going in.
Go for it. It's something special.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is.
It's very sweet in like a raisiny. No, sultanas, more kind of.
Yeah. Because we're
lots of
sort
sugar.
of experts who can determine the difference between sultanas.
I'm just thinking of that pot and that sherry that we had.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be my touchstone for sultana versus.
Definitely, yes. And for me, so there's a tasting note I have on this that is interesting, but I can sort of get it. I wouldn't agree with it perfectly, but the tasting note says licorice. I think it's more of the spice of an aniseed.
Yeah, I could go with the aniseeds. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's dark enough to be licorice. It's very sweet. Like it's a very sweet.
I always consider licorice to be more like a treacly aniseed.
Like what would you say? An Oloroso, maybe? Maybe a PX?
On this?
Yeah.
Well, I actually managed to do some research on that.
Okay.
And the cask or butt that this came from was Fino. So this is one of the ones that I actually managed to get information on.
It does kind of make sense because it's like the Fino kind of sweet softness, but there is no softness to it because it's 61%.
And it's 15 years.
It's very good.
So, yeah.
I mean, this is like, if this is number one.
Yeah. Well, I think they are starting off with a bang. I would say there's a couple in this 6 that are
don't be putting a damper on it.
Oh, I'm not putting a damper on. I would say they're all top quality. There's a lot of, I mean, it's all independent bottlers, so it's a lot of single cask stuff coming on.
Yeah.
But I think there's a bit of I'd say that they've definitely started at a very high. The rest is still high, you know?
Yeah, fair.
But they've come in with a 15-year-old, and there's a lot of other big numbers, but there's also a couple of no age statements. So, you know, it varies basically.
So there's some Tom and Tool 15-year-old like port cask finishes that aren't too like 80, 90 quid. Now, that's not to say that this bottle was 80, 90 quid because obviously this is from a single cask. And it's coming out at cask strength, and it's spent its entire 15 years in the sherry butt.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not a finish, it's a and it's a Fino one, which is rare.
Yes. Which is very unusual anyway. Have you got anything to say about what the finish?
I mean, it's just super long, satisfying, warming.
Yeah.
Quite woody.
Yeah. It has a bit of that.
I don't know if it's because the alcohol is very drying.
I think there's a bit of that effect happening where the dryness of the alcohol is causing it to feel okay.
Yeah.
But I think that may be something that with this, not always, but we might need to get used to.
It reminds me of that. Is it JJED? That cast strength one that I got from the Bristol Whiskey Festival when I was very drunk.
Yes.
Because I think that's one that was done for quite some time in a
A sherry butt.
A sherry butt, and is also like 60%, something like that.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. Tom and Toole Distillery is next to the River Avon.
Yeah.
Not the same River Avon, I would suggest. Otherwise, it'd be a very long River Avon.
Yeah, it'd probably make it longer than the D.
Yeah. But it's not too far from Aberlour.
No, it's Bayside, so
One to put on the list.
I'm not sure if we can visit Tom and Toole, but we'll have a look.
I will look now. I mean, if I was in my whiskey room, which I probably should be for these, but my PC is in my office,
Yeah.
I would look at the map, because obviously I now have the map made with the pins indicating every single distillery in Wales, Scotland, and England, and whether they can be visited, have been visited, or can be visited. And yes, you can.
Okay. So I'll put it on the list.
It's called the Gentle Dram, but it is 61%.
Well, yeah, I think first of all, being that it's not being bottled by them, it's being bottled by an independent bottler. I think AD actually do potentially own distilleries, but they're a bottler first and foremost, I believe. Yeah. This may not be a core expression of Tom and Toole.
So the tours begin in April 2024, twice daily, twice a week. 8 spaces.
That doesn't sound like twice daily if it's twice a week.
Okay, twice per day, but only 2 days per week.
If that's the wording they've used, I'm gonna go.
It's not. It's how I was summarising it, but I've just added 61%.
Yeah, no,
whiskey.
That's fair.
Yep. So we'll have to go.
Okay.
I mean, that was fantastic. That was really good.
I've been looking forward to doing this for a while, so I'm glad.
Yeah, me too. That's a straight 4.5.
We're basically going into this with I'd probably agree with the 4.5 on that. And we're going into this as a 4 and a 3 and an extended podcast to make the 25.
I'm just super excited.
Of high level whiskey before going into the first of the new
the surprise that we can't give away.
Yeah.
But we have discussed previously, but we'll keep it as a surprise because this is a surprise for people.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll upload it as like a midweek episode and that'll throw people off.
Yeah. Oh god, double uploads. Anyway,
that's 2 hours of my week wasted.
Yeah. That's what podcasts are for, wasting your life.
Yeah, that's what we're doing it while recording it. You can do it while listening.
Yeah. So
that was not a waste of life. That was amazing.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm going to share that one with. Maybe I'll have like certain ones, and I'll be like, "Hey, there's only that Advent calendar. You said you were sharing them. There's only 8 bottles." Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, it's super stingy that Advent calendar. You won't believe it."
It was more like the classical 12 days, but for the first 4 days, they only gave us a single. I don't know what it was about.
Yeah, that's just very strange. Very strange. Also, these ones are all heavily peated.
Yeah. And yeah, you can have the full double.
I'm just generous like that. Yeah. Okie dokie.
Happy to move on.
I am. Well, I can find where the number 2 is. Wonder why they do that with Advent calendars, mix them up and not just have them in order.
Well, mostly because actual Advent calendars are for children, so it makes it a wee game.
I mean, it's got me excited. So, any hints on this one?
This one is one that I'll like.
One that you'll like.
Yes.
So it's a wine cask finish.
It is. But it's not. It's a Highland.
Oh fuck! Sorry, I shouldn't swear. It's the first whiskey. Oh fudge! I just saw the strength on this one.
Yeah. There's a few lower ones, but this is a theme I think for this box. There's a lot of.
They are all single cask, aren't they?
Yeah. Not all, but a lot of single casks. Yes.
Okay.
There's a couple coming up that I'll not spoil for you, but there are ways that it's not. There's still
it's got a lovely colour, this one.
Yeah, so I'll break the suspense for everyone. This is a Craig Mills Sauternes, which is from Glassau Distillery, and I think it's bottled by the Malt Whisky Co. So
can you pass that for me?
What's that?
So it's Glenglassaugh Distillery. So what's
Yeah.
Craig Mills then?
I'm not sure, so I didn't really find any information on this. I didn't try very hard, to be fair.
Fair.
Um, but
Is that a kind of? I mean, it's not a kind of Sauternes, is it? Because that sounds Scottish, and Sauternes is not.
but when I think Craig Mills might be something to do with Glenglassaugh.
Yeah, maybe it's a Glenglassaugh brand.
Oh, the land where the Glenglassaugh distillery is land known as Craig's Mills.
Ah, okay.
So
There's also a guy called Craig Mills who on LinkedIn is a freelance whiskey specialist.
yeah, I know. So the problem was whenever I tried to search for it, he kept coming up, and it's not to do with him because I checked.
He's
But
got a nice
I found
goatee going.
turns out when you stop trying to find something and have to do it really quickly, your Googling gets better. So
it was £5 a dram, or £5.
Yeah.
Did you say it was £5 a measure, or did we say it was £5 a bottle?
measure, but for us, it's £5 a bottle.
Yeah, so you can get on oldandarewhiskey.com. There is this exact bottle.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
size.
A lot of them are on there.
£13.
Yes, they're all. We got a very, very, very good deal. Some of them are much more expensive than that. I've seen 40 for one of
Jesus.
these. Yeah.
What, one of these first 6?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't remember which one it was, but
probably the one that's
think
like 90% peat.
I think it might be one of the ones that's coming up soon. But well. Anyway, this is a Sauternes cask, as I said, single cask bottle.
Trying to clean out the jigger a little bit.
Yeah, I've been dunking it in my water.
Oh, that's a clever idea.
Mine's small enough to do that because it's that little one.
I can certainly rinse mine a little bit because I used a big glass. So
yeah, and the cask number on this is CM1, which will be Craig Mills, I'm assuming 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
And yeah, it's 59.3% because single casks.
Well, you know what they say: more alcohol, more flavour.
Yeah. You ready to go in for a nose?
I'm trying to open it. It's just fighting back.
Oh, is it? Yeah, mine was a bit stiffed as well. To be fair.
It's been closed for like
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. All right, just measuring it now. Give me a second. They need to come up with a better way of measuring spirits because it does feel there's a couple of very dodgy points, like when you're pouring it in and getting to the top.
Yeah.
And then when you dump it into the glass, you just got to be like committed.
Yeah, you've got to really go for it when you pour it in, otherwise you lose some.
Yeah, it's just.
So.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. Right. Got it. It's a lovely colour, that, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll see because I've got a recording of this, but it's hard to tell because I did have to use the light on. I recorded it on my phone because
phones are good enough for that stuff now. People have filmed films on them.
But to eliminate shadows, I used the light on the phone, but then that gave a glare on the very closest part of the thing. So, but you should be able to get an idea of what the colour of the whiskey inside the bottles was.
Yeah, it's quite chalky.
Yeah, it does have a bit of that. Sort of like a. So, one of the nose and notes.
Maybe like sweet coconut.
Well, one of those. I was going to bring this up just as a talking point, because I don't know what it means, but it said ozone.
Ozone.
Yeah. Now I don't know how you smell ozone.
You can smell ozone. Ozone's got like.
It's toxic, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But it's like because ozone is produced when lightning strikes. So it's not like petrichor, which is a smell of rain. There is a smell to ozone. I can't remember how it's described, but let me see if I look it up. Because
I thought that was a very specific.
Oh, so ozone apparently can be described as smelling like chlorine bleach. I can kind of get. It's got that kind of like clean smell.
Yeah.
But it's still got like that kind of coconutty sweetness to it. So there's a bit of fruitiness, but not like a pear or an apple. I'm just doubling down on coconut. I get coconut.
Maybe grapes.
Yeah. Sweet. It's got into a flat smell, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, sorry, just writing that down.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, do you want me to go in or do you want to taste first? I have notes, so.
Well, seeing as you've got the notes, I'm to be fair, I'm just like selfishly enjoying this because normally not to to be cruel or mean, but normally, as I'm the one who does the editing,
Yeah, I've done. This time I'm actually trying to.
you're the one
make
who's
up
put the
what we're
work in
doing
and has
work.
made the
Yeah.
sacrifice, so I really appreciate it. So I'm just going to be really selfish and just go in
Oh,
first on every single one.
That's perfectly fine.
Thank you very much.
You were the one
Right.
that alerted me to the fact that this was available. So otherwise, I would have just been sat here listening to you drink whiskey. So that would be a lot worse.
I like the fact that you would have still sat there, though.
Yeah, well,
That's true friendship, that is.
25 whiskies to be done on a podcast, can't we? That's content.
I feel like if we'd only got one, we'd have found a way to share it. You'd have just been very bad for one day.
I'd have probably just came to yours and then done it live.
I mean,
over the course of a weekend and then left.
Could have done 12 in one day, just not woken up the next. I don't know, though, because, I mean, we could talk about this in a more regular podcast, but we did just do the Scotch Whisky Festival, and we probably had about 12 singles there.
Yeah.
So I've had my first taste. It's very sweet, quite dry. It is grapey, like grape sweetness. Maybe a little bit of like butterscotchiness. It's very nice.
So they have basically it says it's thick with fruity flavors, sweets and tobacco.
I'm not getting any like earthiness or tobacco-iness, the leatheriness. It's too sweet for that.
And on the finish, they said strawberry cream sweets, which I took to mean Campinos.
Yeah, I mean that I think is a fair. It's like strawberries and cream at the start. Like sweets, strawberries and cream sweets. You know, the swirly ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they had the note for cocoa, but I'm not catching that.
No, they seem to be getting more. I wonder if they've put water in.
Well, these are different. It's not single sourced on all of these. These are broadly sourced across the whole of the internet to find anyone who drank any of these and has been willing to. So the provenance of these tasting notes I have is not necessarily a professional, let's say.
I'm thinking like barley sugar for me, that actually.
Yeah.
Just got that kind of boiled sweetness. Just really nice.
There's a dryness in the end, which is probably where they're getting you. It's still sweet, right? And it's still got that creaminess. So sweet, creamy and dry makes me think of something like cocoa powder. But
but cocoa powder.
I don't think it tastes like cocoa powder. Is the thing. It has characteristics, not flavor.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
I would say it's more, like a creamy, hard, like a boiled sweet.
Yeah. There's definitely a creaminess to it. So I get because did they say thick or creamy? Did they say?
Yeah, thick and they variously said thick or creamy.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's another winner.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So was the wine cask aficionado out of us?
Mm-hmm. Not as dry as I would have expected, but very good.
But a Sauternes a sweet wine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a dessert wine?
I think it's a dessert, yeah. And I would put that I'd give that a 4.5 as well. So.
Sweet wine, French sweet wine.
So I would also give that 4.5.
Yeah, I would straight up go another 4.5. This is going to be a high scoring
4.5, but yeah.
Yes. God, the times. See, I'm still working hard in the background, listeners.
We're just in the this is where when we finally managed to get a third member involved, he can be our producer and do all this for us.
Or a publicist.
Yeah. Oh, that too. I mean, I feel like we're aware that we're not the best at publishing this, and we could probably publish it differently. But you know,
we're busy protecting the country.
Yeah. 12 hours a week. I mean, 37 hours a week.
12 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'll edit that back in. It'll be seamless.
Yeah.
You'll be saying 12 hours a week, and then just over the top of it, it'll be like 12 hours a day.
Yeah, day.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah. So up next is a third.
Let me find it. Again, do you want to give me a hint?
This one is not a single cask.
Not a single cask.
It is actually not even a single distillery.
Oh, a blend.
blended malt.
Oh. I didn't think there would be any. I thought there'd all be single malts in this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I mean, interesting.
Yes. So up next is 1996 Samaroli Spey 19-year-old Glen Talkers and Ben Riach.
What kind
Now,
of bloody box has a 19-year-old whiskey in it?
well, yeah. I mean, I don't even know if this is the oldest in the box either. I think it might be for today, but in the box, I think there might be an older one.
Madness.
Yeah. So Samaroli are an Italian blend bottler.
Samaroli. You got to
Yeah.
pinch
Samaroli.
Yeah,
It's
you got
for
pinch.
me.
Did you pinch your fingers together? Did you?
Yeah, I did. I was literally doing the.
Good man.
the
That's how you speak Italian.
I think actually on a very very short side note here. I was reading today that I think the guy who did Mario's voice the first time wasn't even in to do Mario's voice. He was just a voice actor who was there, and then he was like, "Oh, what have you got going on? I'll give it a go." And he says, "Okay, imagine this: you're an Italian American plumber, and your name's Mario." And he was like, "Just like it's me, Mario." And that's how it came about. Yeah. And he didn't. I don't think he got paid very well for it either, because like he was just literally a jobbing guy in a shop in a place in the 80s.
It's like Mark Hamill's thing when he auditioned for the Joker, and he was like, "I'm never going to get the voice of the Joker. You know, I'm
Luke
Skywalker. I'm a hero. Blah blah blah. You know, I'll never get this." But I say because I think it's when I was talking to my dad a bit ago. He was saying that I can't remember if he said that it was the first time casting directors have got an Academy Award, or they've started being entered for it, or he was saying they should be entered for it. One of them. And for me, like Andrea Romano, who cast a Batman the Animated Series, is just like
did very well, yeah.
Well, I mean, Kevin Conroy would have carried on voicing Batman if he hadn't died a couple of years back, unfortunately. But he was, the Batman voice in that. He was the Batman voice in the Arkham games, apart from Origins. Just everything.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is the best Joker voice ever. Just there's some classics in there.
I actually have some Batman talk to do with you, but we can do it off this.
Oh, okay.
It's not about it. Yeah, I'll tell you. But after
these will probably drag on long enough as they were. So
So it's all it says about the casks is that they're American oak, and then it gives cask numbers 4234, 4235, and 45763. So I'm going to guess 4234 and 4235 are from Glen Talkers, just because. Maybe not actually. But two from one and one from another.
Are they both space side?
Yeah, they're both space side. Yeah. And
Glen Talkers was
just Samaroli Space. So.
Fair point.
And it's 43%. So they've actually, made this
interval.
They've made this into a set strength rather than because they've obviously got the ability to blend the casks and then make.
So this has been diluted.
Diluted, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so Gardner MacPhail owns Glen Talkers.
Yeah. So I read briefly whilst I was reading into this, not from the book, but from when I was looking into who makes this, that Samaroli have a lot of partners in the bottling industry in Scotland. So they team up with people who are also bottlers. And part of me want to make a football related joke about bottle merchants, but
sorry, I'm just looking at Gardner MacPhail's private collection in the background.
Expensive. So it's very hard to find information. No, this one wasn't. This one was okay to find information on. But I had a couple of notes on the tasting, then the nose and the tasting and the finish. So what do you think it smells of?
Let me just seal that one up. I mean, sorry, just while I was on the private collection, right? There's 4 options to filter the private collection on Gardner MacPhail. One is all.
Yeah.
The lowest one is up to 50 years old. Then there's
Yeah,
between
yeah,
50
yeah.
and 70, and then there's 70 and above. It's just like, what the hell? Yeah, this makes. Sorry, right. I was distracted. Wow, there's some fancy whiskies. Right.
This is a fancy
Oh,
whiskey, to be fair.
that's almost like vegetal, like plant matter.
It has a.
It's like dandelions and plant stalks.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
That's a
So
completely different smell to what we've been having.
the tasting notes that the nosing note I've got is fruits, specifically peaches, pears, and then a creaminess. Now, but I would say you're closer with. It's almost got that. It has more. I don't want to say acrid, but acidic.
Yeah, it's not very sweet. There is a bit of sweetness if you give it a bit of time in the nose, but it's very veggie. It's just making me think of dandelion stalks.
Hmm. Anyway, I'm interested to go in for a taste on this now because it's a very.
Well, shall I be gracious and let you go in
You
for one, or do you want to discuss the
you go
notes?
on and then tell me what you hear, what you taste, even
What
what
I
you
hear.
hear.
All right, I'll tell
Yeah,
you what I hear. It's you
it sounds
talking.
like the
That's what I hear.
sea. Um,
Okay, in I go. I'll tell you what I taste. I was going to continue the joke, but I won't. Hmm. That's very clean.
yes, I just took a wee sip.
It's very light. Oh, it's quite carnation milky on the finish. It's got that kind of creamy sweetness.
Yes.
That's yeah. I mean, whether it's because it's like 15% less than the other two, that's super light.
So the tasting note I have is light, creamy with a hint of citrus. So you're
Oh,
pretty much
that's
bang on. I would say
not.
clean and citrus go hand in hand
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
concepts. But the finish, which I can almost agree with on my first little sip, is white
Mm.
chocolate.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's that kind of creamy sweetness.
Yeah, like the carnation milk. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
let's be honest. Carnation milk, white chocolate, Caramac, they're all.
Mm.
That's a flavor profile, you know, like
Do like a Caramac.
creamy sweet flavors.
That's really nice again.
Yeah, well,
It's almost single grain kind of flavors.
yeah, it's got a little bit of that. Yeah. Interestingly, though, I mean, I guess it's American oak, so it's not. I mean, it's a very light spirit. This, I'd hazard. I feel begrudged to even give it straw. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but for 19 years, but if it's in a virgin American oak,
Could
you
be a
can
virgin
understand
oak
there
because
would
it's not.
maybe not
It
be
doesn't
that.
say bourbon cast in it.
No. So I'm not sure if it just says American oak because maybe there was a bourbon cask and a something else cask, but for it to
Mm-hmm.
be in for 19 years and not take much color, I would imagine it's virgin.
I'd have thought so. There's
And
a lot of vanilla on there, isn't there? A
yeah,
lot of vanilla.
that's what's given us all these creamy, white
Yeah,
chocolatey
yeah.
flavors.
I think you're probably right in terms of virgin oak.
Mm.
So
But it's gone past the point where the virgin oak makes it dry.
yeah, and it's not overpowered. It's not super woody.
No,
It's
I mean to
it's
be fair, with 19 years of alcohol spirit in the oak, it's probably caused some like deterioration of the wood. You know.
yeah, but normally a light spirit is normally dominated by you know
Woodiness. Yeah.
the woodiness. Yeah, it just becomes too woody to drink. Um, I sorry, I keep looking at these.
God no, it fails.
Yeah, there's one here, Mortlach, distilled in 1954, bottled in 2019 in a sherry butt or a sherry puncheon. I don't even know what a puncheon is.
Interesting.
Puncheon is a barrel, A third of a ton.
It's 320 litres, so
So a pipe or a
slightly
butt is half a ton. A puncheon is a third of a ton. So it's slightly smaller than a butt.
Yeah. It's what rum comes in, apparently.
It's just 10 grand. Yeah, one day maybe.
Yeah. When
Let's
you're
have a look.
independently wealthy and looking for things to do with your excess cash, yeah.
Yeah. 35 grand for the most expensive one, which is a Glenlivet, distilled in 1949, bottled in 2023. Madness.
Yeah.
Madness. Sorry, right. Yes, back to what we were doing. That's completely different to the previous two,
Yes.
but still super gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a similarly high quality. I'm deciding whether it's a 4.5 or a 4 for me.
This is the thing.
I
think if this had gone first, it'd have been a 4.5.
Yeah, I feel almost harsh giving it a 4, but
I think we've got to give it a 4 though.
Stacked up against the previous two, yes, I would give it a 4.
Yeah, I think a 4. Yep.
And it's a strong 4, though. I would even be willing to put that in the notes. If this was,
if you put that in any normal box, Dram team box, it'd have been the best one by a mile.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not from in the future, but in the past, probably would have been.
So
finish that off. Sorry.
No worries. You don't want to rush these because they are quite special, but you also.
It's just been a while since we've done this as well, so I'm savouring it.
Not knowing that you don't have another 50 to go or whatever.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the festival night in the next normal podcast, do you think?
I think we probably should cover it in the normal podcast. But I mean, we can mention it briefly here. In a future podcast, we'll go into a deeper dive. But yeah, we had a wee Scottish whiskey festival plus some other distillery tours in Edinburgh, which now has 2 active distilleries.
Two very interesting.
Actually, technically, probably 3 because wherever they were distilling the spirits that they're selling in their blend.
Mm-hmm. 2 very interesting distilleries.
Yes.
Doing some very interesting things with an ingredient that I don't think anyone else is playing with as much as those 2.
Definitely not.
One of the overlooked ingredients.
Well, there's only 4, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we all know the mill is the most important bit, but the second most important. Third, depends. And also one of them is the world's tallest distillery. Just to put that out there. I did leave them both TripAdvisor reviews, by the way.
Oh, did you? I should probably leave Google reviews since I'm a level 6 local advisor now. So.
Oh, yeah, I gave them both 5 stars. I mentioned both of the tour guides by name because I didn't know sometimes things like that getting bonuses, don't they?
Yeah.
Perfect. And they're both very good.
Yeah. Different styles, but very good.
Yes, both very good. Very good tours. We'll talk about it more, but again, if you're in Edinburgh and you fancy something to do, the 2 distilleries in there that have got tours available, 100% recommend.
If you Google it, you'll be able to find them.
Yeah, 100% recommend. Both easy to get to, both excellent. Both got bars.
Yeah.
And one of them, at least, we know does a good pie.
And apparently.
Oh, it's not a pie, it's a steak. It's
a pot pie.
Yeah, it's a stew with a lid on, but it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yes, number 4, yeah?
Yes, so I alluded earlier to the fact that there are 4 bottlers in the booklet.
Yeah.
So we've had 3. So it would appear that they wanted to come up front with all 4 because this one is the 4th. It's Weems malts.
Oh, we know Weems.
Yes.
Aren't they Kingsbarns?
Yes. Huh. So.
See, I do remember some things.
Malts. When I was trying to look this up, you can look this one exists now. I think it's a batch. So it's a small batch handcrafted malt. It's a blend.
Yep.
This is Velvet Fig. Now Weems do I think 4 or 5 blends.
Yep.
And this is one of them. It's 46% because it's a blend again. So we've had back-to-back blends here. So
it's a Lowland then.
Yeah, it's not always. Well,
Depends which blended from. Fair point.
I don't think there's no mention of what goes into this. I think the Velvet Fig is a flavor profile rather than a.
We'll call it Scotch then.
Yeah, it's just a blended.
Well, apparently only
malt.
Americans call it Scotch, and it offends Scottish people to call it Scotch.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, we have a protected label on the term.
Yeah, I can say.
Calling people Scotch
Yeah,
annoyed
yeah.
Scottish people. We only put, so there's a comedy bit where we only put Scotch on the things that we're proud of. So whiskey, eggs,
Pancakes.
Scotch eggs, pancakes, and pies. Scotch tape is an American invention, so we don't count that. But yeah, so basically that's the theory is that it's only things that Scottish people are proud that they invented.
Should call it Scotch tablet then.
Yeah, we should because it's pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And
It's
macaroni pies, Scotch
Yeah.
macaroni pies.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm not usually a big fan of taxi scones, but those ones we had in that place for breakfast
Yeah.
in Glasgow, they could have been Scotch taxi scones. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Somehow the best bit of a breakfast that's got two kinds of sausage and bacon and eggs
black pudding.
And that was still the best
Maybe
bit.
haggis?
Somehow.
No, they didn't have haggis in that one, but yeah,
No,
sometimes
no.
you get haggis. But yeah.
And I love lawn sausages. It's why we don't have it down here. It's super annoying.
It also makes a much better roll because it's flat.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can put an egg on top of it and it doesn't.
And you can do a double sausage roll without just having the same sausage twice.
Yeah, and loads of gaps.
Yeah, I mean the my local butcher does a load of good sausages. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I want the flat sausage as well.
So in Scotland we would call the term for a sausage is a link because they're in the.
Yeah. They come in links.
Yeah, and a square sausage is often just a sausage, but sometimes a Lorne or a square sausage.
That was a good breakfast set. I got to come back up there again.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully next time I'll remember and try and see if that place that I wanted to go to will let us book and I can get steak and eggs. But I was happy with our second option.
It was good.
I was not disappointed by their breakfast. No,
we did well on the food front, I think.
So yeah. But yeah, Velvet Fig.
Yes.
So, I absolutely have the tasting notes off of William's website, so this is actually the best provenance of tasting note that I have.
Can't do much better than the actual creators.
Yes.
Let me have a sniff, see if I can impress Sarah like you did. That's a difficult smell to pin down.
This is looking
bit
at
of velvet, bit of figs.
Yeah, well, figs is close to what I've got written down. By close, I mean figs is one of the things.
I don't know what figs smell like. I don't know if I've ever had any, but
like smell like dates.
I've never. There's a joke to be made about never having one of them either.
I didn't even mean to toss that one up, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll just immediately jump on that grenade that was nowhere near me or anyone else. No one was in any danger, but I made like a 200-meter sprint to a nearby grenade, pulled the pin, and jumped on it.
Enemy grenade.
Yeah, still the best was frontline when you could throw the grenade to the dog and it'd take it back to the handler.
Yeah,
that was the best. That was like advanced AI. That was. Yeah, it's fruity. It's got that baked goodsiness, caramelized sugariness.
Yeah, I would say that whilst this is a lowland, it's definitely taken inspiration. Not like lowland doesn't really have a character. That's the problem with it.
Soft.
But it's taken its inspiration and its nose here from the big Speyside sort of.
Yeah, it's very Speyside-y.
Yeah.
So what should I be smelling then?
Well, so the Weems notes for the nose are fruit, figs, chocolate, marzipan, walnuts, and toffee.
Yeah, okay. So fruity, sugary sweetness, walnuts.
I mean, if you say marzipan, you really mean almond as well, don't you?
Yeah. I'm going to say pecans just to be annoying. Also, because I really like pecan pie.
Earth nuttiness to it. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Right, okay. Going for a taste.
Yeah.
It's a little bit sweet, a little bit earthy, maybe a bit of nuttiness. Yeah, like that white chocolate carnation milk on the finish. A little bit dry.
So they've got fruit, medjool dates, not figs on the taste. Figs on the nose, but medjool dates on the taste. Apricots, chocolate, back to the walnuts. Then they've got the finish to be nutty, woody, and cinnamon spice and potentially tobacco. Now,
there's a little bit of spice. I wouldn't say any kind of nuttiness or woodiness to it. Maybe that earthiness, sweetness could be chocolate, I suppose. Yeah.
There could be a nuttiness in this, but I would say it's closer to like a hazelnut, like the sort of nut that goes in a chocolate.
It's almost like kind of Toblerone flavors.
Yes.
Yeah. When you said hazelnut, then I was like, it sometimes clicks the next step for you.
Yeah, but yeah, the fruit's definitely there as well. So what was happening in my head was it's like if you took a Cadbury's fruit and nut, right, but then replaced the dairy milk with like an expensive chocolate.
Yeah, like a good chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Dairy milk is.
I like a dairy milk, even after the craft ruined it.
It's not good. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to I forgot the name. Lou Coco. Shout out to Lou Coco.
Who's Lou Coco?
So Lou Coco is a small chocolatier in London that makes chocolate from bean to bar, and they don't use sugar. They use some like thing out of coconut, I think.
Oh, like
and they make some excellent sugar. Yeah, they make some excellent chocolate, and also they make some excellent bourbons. And if you order them before Thursday, they post them on a Friday for arrival on a Saturday, and they're amazing.
Are these the ones that you got that were like they're like palm sized?
Yeah, they're big. Yeah, and I only know about them because the English Whiskey Festival, I think it was English Whiskey Festival, when it was online because of COVID, they had a chocolate and whiskey box, and they provided the chocolate, and they are very, very good. And it pains me because I know there's a Sheffield chocolate company as well called Bullion that does good chocolate, but I prefer Lou Coco's, and they're London. So it does pain me, but yeah, she's very good. The owner of Lou Coco, she knows what she's doing.
That's good. This is like I like these small artisanal places that just do really good stuff. It's not easy to get to. You pretty much have to drive from mine, but there's a place that does very good finish at home cookies, and but that's not what I'm after. They're melt in the middle, so they have like a filling in the middle. So you finish them at home and it melts what's in the middle.
We need to stop talking about this. I'm on a cut at the moment. I'm doing 2,000 calories a day.
Oh, and that's not a cut. And
it is a cut for me.
I mean, it's a cut for anyone, but like it's 1,800. That's when you know you're trying.
I'm not going that far. Yeah, I've filtered in these 6 whiskies, by the way, with my calorie limit for today.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was trying to make weight, but I'm not. I'm going to be back on the diet wagon mid-February. But
I'm just a heavy stab beans.
I say mid-February as if it's not mid-February, but after Valentine's Day.
I'm going to try. This Sunday will be 1 week. Tomorrow will be 1 week. I'm going to try for 6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did about 3 months of like horrifically low calories to get under 90.
Yeah.
kg. And then I ended up weighing in with my clothes on at 89 and was really raging with myself because I could
have had 1 kilo more.
Eaten more.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to lose a bit of the old body fat.
Yeah. But anyway, back to this whiskey.
Yes, sorry, it's very good.
Yeah. Also, before we go back, the place that does those cookies, though, they do brownies and blondies that are like ridiculous, like birthday cake blondie or Stroop waffle brownie. Like,
sounds very good.
It's definitely like a meal's worth of calories in a snack, but it's worth it.
The cafe at the park near me, you know, the one they do very good blondies and brownies as well.
I actually prefer a blondie, but yeah.
It depends how I'm feeling, to be honest. Sometimes blondies can be a bit too sweet.
Yeah, but often a brownie's too rich for me. But I mean, it depends. It depends what you're doing.
It does, yeah. That is very good as well.
I also Probably 4 again.
4. Yeah, I think that's fair. Kept us distracted, and I realised we're kind of going quite long on this one. But to be fair, it's a special edition.
It's a special edition, and it had quite a long intro.
Yeah, we've got to explain everything, and yeah.
The first and
Maybe we ought
last
to
of
do it
these will
as
be
like
quite long.
maybe we ought to live stream it, because then that can go on for hours and hours.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can put ads in.
Yeah, if we had more than 38 subscribers, we could probably put ads in this as well.
You're on Twitch, you can put ads in anything. But yeah,
We could just start advertising Manscaped right now.
Manscaped. It's been a while actually. Do you know what's really fell off?
Raid?
No, well, Raid has War. What's it called? War Robots or something.
War Thunder, War. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I've got less worrying adverts recently, rather than like erectile dysfunction pills and hair loss treatment.
But the other thing is that they stopped advertising the multitude of internet mattresses.
Yeah.
And they stopped
Helix
advertising Helix, Casper.
Yeah. I need a new bed, but I don't think I'd ever get one of them.
I have got one, by the way, and it's very good. But
the Helix?
Not Helix. I can't remember which one it is. Not Helix or Casper.
I did
my internet research, and worked out.
You have to let me know, because I won't mind getting a new mattress at some point. So let me know what you got.
And what was the other thing? The other thing that's fell off is Freddy's Shave Club or whatever it was.
Yeah. Harry's.
Someone's razor blade club.
Yeah. Manscaped is still going strong.
Yeah, Manscaped's always going to go strong because they just.
I just use kind of deodorant and a lighter.
Yeah.
Like a man.
Yeah. I just don't, like a man.
Yeah. Just hip thrust a chainsaw like a man.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. We're back. You might. So I did warn you. You may need the second glass.
Yes, you did. So is this peated? Is it?
Well, yeah. But...
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Number 5.
So this is from the island of peat. So the reason I said when you read who it's by, you might work out why I said I don't know if you'll need one, but it's probably worth doing it.
Is it a Brickladdick?
No.
Oh, Kalila. Okay.
Yeah. But so it's a back to cask Dram, single cask,
Great.
bourbon hogshead.
Let's bring in the peat glass.
Cask number 303050, and it's the 2006 Carolina 9-year-old. So
how can you say Kalila worse than I can when you're Scottish and I'm not?
Kalila, whatever, yeah. The fact that they've literally spelled Ila ILA so that everyone pronounced it right rather than just writing Ila like the island.
No, if you say it wrong, you're just like, yeah, fair enough. But if I say it wrong, you're like bloody ignorant Englishman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, nobody can be expected to speak Gaelic, and then like you do it, and it's like, why don't you speak Gaelic?
Get out of this country.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yep.
I try to diminish our native language, is it?
I don't even have a native language. That's the problem.
Well, yeah.
The bloody hell is England's native language? Well, Yorkshire's native language is violence, but
England's native language is probably some form of Gaelic. Gaelic.
Yeah.
Because Welsh,
you've got you're surrounded on all sides by Gaelic. It probably is.
Yeah. Because Welsh isn't Gaelic, but like.
Is it not?
It's a Celtic. Nah, it's a Gaelic language, but it's not Gaelic. It's not. It's very much not the same.
No. I'm not saying it's the same. But I thought it was like a.
I think Scots and Irish Gaelic are a lot closer.
That makes sense because you guys are very similar, aren't you?
Yeah, we make whiskey and fight.
Yeah, and you ginger.
It's true. Not me personally. I've got the.
Well, you might be.
I've got the useful Scandinavian influence that.
You might be. For all anyone knows, John, Steve, Chris, Robert, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
Got to throw out that chaff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a sniff and be ready to be disappointed because that was a really good run of whiskies. So
there's a reason I've asked you to get an extra glass because I don't want to.
It was very kind of you.
Don't want to flavour the glass for the
Christ.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got tasting notes on this one, and I expected it to be like that, but I wasn't sure how correct they were because this was very, very difficult to get information on.
Pete.
I don't have a finish. All I know.
A little bit rubberiness, maybe.
all I know from looking at this is it's a 2006 Carolina 9-year-old, bottled by AD Rattray, 56.7 years old, and someone tasted it and rated it on old and rare malts and gave it basically a nose that was, well, tell me what you think it is.
Fire.
Smoke and brine.
Yeah, okay. Like a seaside tire fire. It's like Blackpool.
Basically, I think they're basically trying to say maybe this is what it smells like when you're trying to make bacon.
If this is what your bacon smells like, you're doing something wrong.
Oh yeah, you should be using hickory, but
smoked bacon is objectively worse than unsmoked bacon.
It depends. Good smoked bacon is better.
If you're doing a bacon sandwich,
yeah,
unsmoked bacon is better. If you're doing it in something, in other stuff, like a recipe, then smoked bacon can have a place.
A bacon sandwich with brown sauce, it should be unsmoked. But if you want to mix it up, then the smoke can come in. So
no, I disagree.
Modern people who want to chuck on some sriracha or some other hot sauce, then you probably want smoked too.
I just like a bacon sandwich without sauce, to be honest.
Well, without sauce,
or
I'd
smoke.
Say. If it's hickory smoked bacon, then this is what I'm saying. So the problem is that smoked is a very broad term.
Yeah.
You can get a very sweet smoke. You can get like almost.
Should I go in for a smell?
Go in for a
taste. Yeah, go.
You can get almost like.
Here we go.
Honey smoked kind of deal on the go.
It's not as bad in the taste as it is on the nose. It's quite sweet. I mean, the peat develops in the finish. It's very briny, very coastally. Super dry, the finish.
Yeah.
It
does have a sweetness, but it's not a meaty sweetness. Not like a cured meat sweetness.
No, that's very kind of almost Speyside-y, sugary sweetness at the beginning.
So the note that I got, and again, it was a review from a public review.
Was it like a G sharp?
Yeah. It was. Actually, I was watching.
I've no idea what G sharp sounds like, by the way, but I can't control the pitch of my voice, so it doesn't matter.
But there's a.
It's still not very pleasant.
There's so when I was away to a place called Onyx, which is a bit north of a bit south, sorry, of
Isn't that what Brock used?
Onyx is what Brock used, yeah. It's a very small town.
Did he have Geodudes as well?
It's just all rock types, yeah. I think but depending when you met, I think he probably had a Geodude. I don't know if he ever got to a Golem
I didn't think he had a Golem. I thought he was like two Geodudes and an Onyx.
Probably.
Because I thought the Onyx was like his last one, because it's a bit more impressive.
And it's actually good. But,
fair. Sorry. It's not a distraction, that though, is it? That's a pertinent conversation point.
That's true, yeah. Well, that's sort of all I ever thought of when I saw it. But yeah, because Onyx is one of my favourite Pokemon. Onyx and Gyarados. I like the big snaky looking ones.
This is why I talk to you still. Other than you're mildly amusing, it's just you reinforce a lot of my own weird divergent thoughts, because it's just like, oh, that sounds like Onyx. Wonder what Brock used. You're like, yeah, that's what I thought about.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So
you went to a place called Onyx. Yeah. Guy with no eyes fought you.
It's a bit south of Fort William, bit north of Holborn, by function of geography.
That's how it works.
Just for an overnight for my fiance's birthday, even though her birthday's like in the middle of next week, but whatever. I don't know where we even got to this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's distracting me with Pokemon.
Apologies. So you're talking about Onyx because we're talking about briny peat. Do you have a whiskey there?
No, that doesn't matter. I'll remember it at some point and I'll tell you about it. But let me try this whiskey and see if it jogs my memory.
So while we're talking about, oddly enough, whiskies, which is a rare topic on these podcasts.
Yeah.
When I was in Bristol recently, went to a place called the Strawberry Thief, which specialises in Belgian beers, apparently. I didn't know that. But upon arrival, I was very happy because I've drunk a lot of Belgian beers in my time. And I knew quite a lot of them there. And I had what do you call it? A barley malt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a whiskey
That's
technically.
what it says on the menu. I mean,
Did it? All right. Okay, yeah, fair. But I went
I
straight
would
for
say
this.
it's a whiskey by, as long as it wasn't made in Scotland.
Yeah, and I don't know how old it was, to be fair. But anyone who's listening to this has probably heard of Duvel, the beer. It's a pretty famous Belgian beer.
Dark and a light.
Yeah. And that was a distilled Duvel that I had. And it was very middle of the road as a whiskey. Wasn't particularly beery. It was a little disappointing in that, but still, I've never had a Belgian whiskey, and now I have. So if you want a Duvel distilled,
yeah,
it's not bad.
It's interesting. Yeah, basically what it did was they took Duvel and then distilled it down into a whiskey. So that is how you make a whiskey.
Yeah,
but they haven't
beer.
called it a whiskey. Now I get that you can use different grains in beer, but
it might not be that old.
You can use
it had colour, so it was a certain age.
They did say it was aged.
Yeah.
And outside of Scotland, there's basically the only places that require you to age your whiskey to be calling it a whiskey are Kentucky and Scotland. The rest of the world, there's no protected characteristic. Is it 3 years?
Yeah.
But
Ireland probably does as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. Places where they protect the name, the word whiskey.
Yeah, fair. The two protected whiskey brands is Scotch and bourbon.
And Irish, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's protected the same.
No.
Same as Japanese. Irish whiskey, Japanese whiskey, both premium products. Absolutely agree. I mean, Teeling is amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've got quite the protection as bourbon and Scotch.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, you know what I had later? By the way, we went to this place that I think it was Thai food, and they were like, they had a few whiskeys behind the bar, and everyone there was like, "Oh, go on then, we'll all have a whiskey. Recommend us one, Josh." So,
what was it like?
It was a Japanese.
Oh right, no. I thought it was going to be like Grouse White McKay.
No. If it was a Japanese whiskey, it was cask strength. It was in an unusual squat bottle. What do you think it was?
Suntory.
No. It's one I've got, in fact.
Oh, in a square squat bottle. Nicker from the barrel.
Yeah. And I was like, this is amazing. They were all like, oh, it's a bit strong, this, because it's like 59%. It's like, oh, it's good stuff.
Just from the barrel.
It's good stuff. Nicker from the barrel is
Who doesn't have a bottle of Nicker from the barrel in their whiskey?
You know? Well, exactly. I've got very little left, but I will replace it with something else from Japan. Probably that again, to be honest, because it's just really good.
I was just only saying Suntory because I saw a lot of bottles of like their like cask strength stuff, and it's all in these like they're in like almost really squat round bottles.
Yeah, they make like sake bottles almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make a lot of whiskey, Suntory. Good whiskey as well.
What do you want to give the peated expression that we've had so far?
You know what? I would give that a 3.
I would give it a 3.5, I think, because
wasn't as anywhere near as peated on the taste as it was on nose.
No.
They always say that like 80% of taste is smell.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right. I just don't. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. Because that smelled way more peated than tasted.
So I think it is right biologically, but I think that the way that the human brain interprets that is not the way it should be. So the way something smells in the air to your nose isn't how taste works, but the way that your the smell receptors interpret it through your soft palate does.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So your taste is the signal sent to your brain from your tongue.
Yeah.
Now, but it actually is much more influenced by the signal sent to your brain from your nose through the inverted commas taste in your soft palate.
Okay.
I think is how that actually works.
I mean, that makes a lot more sense to me. Did you want to go on to the final whiskey of the day?
Yes, the last of the 6.
Which glass should I be using?
Oh, move back to your original glass.
Okay, so not a peated one. Any hints?
I hope not. I mean,
I'm gonna guess. Go on, give me a hint, and I'll see if I can
I'll
guess.
give you a
what it is.
region.
Okay.
Highland.
It's a Highland one.
Yeah.
You're hoping it's not peated.
Yeah.
I mean, Highland is a good chance of being peated. Any other tips? You got to give us.
It's in a bourbon barrel, and its name is bourbon. The distillery bourbon.
Oh.
But
Is it a famous distillery?
It is quite famous. The reason that I don't. Normally, this
let's
distillery
have a
uses
look.
numbers for their.
Numbers?
Yes.
Highland Park does like Valkyrie and stuff like that. Nah, there's too many Highland. Oh! Course, numbers.
Yeah.
I was thinking years.
No, I meant numbers. Like.
Yeah, you were right and I was wrong.
So, I think Tullibardine are
I'll
only
have to cut that bit out, by the way. Can't be accepting that.
Tullibardine, I believe, are only are one of those ones that's on the borderline and have chosen Highland because it's a bigger brand.
Yeah.
I'm just checking where they are.
They're the ones we've been to, aren't they?
Yeah, I just want to double check that I'm correct. Yeah, so with the line of what is and what is not Highland being Perth to Balloch, for want of a better angle.
Yeah.
They are on a sugary peg of being Lowland, but you could probably get away with saying that they're not.
I mean, we like Tullibardine.
If you're into the centre, if you're using Perth and the centre of Loch Lomond, which is one measure that I've heard, they're Lowland. If you use the line drawn to Balloch, which is the town at the southernmost point of Loch Lomond, they are on that line.
Okay.
So they can claim Highland. I believe I've heard someone say that their warehousing is Lowland, but their stills are in the Highland. So that would imply that they're using the Balloch, which is broadly what I've become known to as the correct interpretation.
I collect a glass from every distillery we've been to.
Yeah.
I was like, I should get a Loch Lomond glass because technically we got as close as you can.
Yeah.
But then I was like, But we also got as close as you can to Mortlach.
We got as close as you can to the Seven
Dufftown.
Stills. So.
Yeah. And I was like, so I think I'm only going to do ones that we actually visited.
Yeah, at least been on the grounds of.
Yeah. I think that's more sensible. Did I tell you that our silent partner got a couple of fancy tumblers, by the way?
Oh, I didn't. You didn't?
Yeah. He got a Japanese one. It's like got a mountain in the bottom.
Oh.
And he got a one with like a pewter, like a solid base.
Oh, right. I've got a few. I've got one from when I was a best man.
I best get a good one then when I'm a groomsman.
But it's square, but it's got a stag engraved on it with my name and the date of the wedding, and it came with like a pair of tweezers for picking up either ice or the whiskey rocks that it came with. So,
oh, very nice.
Yeah, and it's in a burnt so it's in a probably oak maybe box, and there's a stencil of all the stuff that's on the glass that's been masked and then it's been burnt for colour.
Oh, that's nice.
I think maybe pewter latch is pretty cool.
That's the minimum I accept.
Okay. I mean, that's for being a best man, just so you know.
Yeah, fair. Well, it's not my fault that you.
I was probably be given mostly exactly the same to all three of my.
You pick someone. Did we discuss about this? Is there only 3?
3 groomsmen, yeah.
Oh, I still feel flattered every time.
Oh. I could have went to 5 if I've included my brothers, but I'm.
The sacrifice of listening to you for all these years is going to be worth it soon.
Oh, I also have other stuff I need to talk to you about wedding wise, but we can discuss that after the podcast.
Okay, yes, fair. Right, so I've got a measure of this one.
Yeah, this is so. Anyway, what I managed. This was almost impossible to get any information about.
Tullibardine bourbon.
Yeah, did not help. So 60.9%. I got that. So I tried typing that in. Didn't help. I got no nosing notes, no tasting notes, and no finish. All I know is this was a single cask number 33, bourbon, stuff that's written on the bottle. Bottled by the Malt Whiskey Company. It's all written on the actual thing. If you watch the video, you should be able to see it all on the thing.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have. Oh, the editor will have edited it in, I should say.
It's that's it basically. So we are.
So on the Aberdeen Whiskey Shop, there's a Tullibardine 7 years old 2015 bourbon cask finish. Might be it, maybe.
Is it 60.9%?
No. So it's not.
This is my problem. I couldn't find a full bottle of something that was 60.9% Tullibardine independently bottled in a bourbon cask. I did.
Yeah.
This one I basically gave up, but this one was the one that I was struggling the most with. I spent at least 2 minutes. No, probably 5 to 10 minutes trying to find this one, and the rest of them I was able to get something within like a couple of minutes. So yeah, we're both coming into this one blind. So I don't know if you want to let me go first or go at the same time.
Nah, let's go for it blind. Why not? What's the smell? What are we getting?
I'm getting.
It's quite sweet.
Yeah, like a very fruit, like almost like fruit salad, like the like the sweet, like the
yeah, fruit salad.
Barrett's fruit salad.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel the alcohol from the previous ones.
Yeah, well, this one's really going to help because it's 60.9.
Just so you know, I was looking at those Gordon MacPhails.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, but the last one was 56.7%. So.
Yeah, it's quite strong. You know, Abelauer also does like some limited edition ones on their website. They've got one here, the 16-year-old.
Yeah.
16-year-old in a second fill sherry butt. 66.5%. I know. It looks amazing.
They just must just pick really tightly made barrels.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and it's.
How did you say it's 66.5%?
It's 105.
That's a big brand as well. That's like an expensive brand, Abelauer.
Or you can get an 11-year-old exclusively in Oloroso sherry, 49.4, 70 quid.
That's not bad.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? This is why Abelauer is our favourite.
I mean, and the price of their core range is like double. They got rid of the bottom end because it was not profitable.
An Abuna is, let's see if it gives me a price.
Well, because they've dropped the 10, haven't they? And they haven't replaced it. So
yeah, it's taking me through to a different website.
So the bottom end's like 12, is it now?
14 if you're going for age. 12, yeah, but £45 for a 12.
Yeah, I just meant the bottom age is.
Yeah, it's 12. Yeah.
I mean, it's 35
Abuna is 88 quid.
It's 35 quid for a bottle of 10 now.
Like I said, don't get me wrong, Abuna's a great whiskey. More than a great whiskey, it's an excellent whiskey.
I actually think I've got a dribble of 10 left.
I've got an Abuna full bottle.
Yeah, I was just meaning. I was holding on to the last dregs of my last bottle of 10.
They do have a 10-year-old on the website.
But it's not Abelauer 10, is it? It's
Abelauer 10, single cask and first fill sherry butt.
Yeah. It's a 10-year-old.
It's a 10-year in a first fill sherry butt at 58.3%.
Yeah, it's not. Here's our filtered 40 pay 25 quid for a bottle of 10-year-old whiskey.
Yeah, they had the best entry level whiskey ever.
Yeah.
Aberlour 10. Bloody Aberlour.
Probably Glenmorangie now, but
Probably. Allow blooming cider casks, Scott Whiskies Association. Right. Because I can't even say whiskey anymore, I said whiskey.
yeah, whiskey. All right, Sean Connery.
Yeah, I'm doing my Scottish
His
accent.
problem, right, is that he grew up writing his name Sean and pronouncing it Sean.
She's like, S's are pronounced sh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. We're going in for a taste and
For a taste.
see.
Blind.
Yep. Slange.
Slange.
Wow. It's quite spicy.
That's interesting.
It is. It's dry again. It's very central. Almost savoury on the back end.
I would not have guessed that was bourbon, though.
No, there's no sweetness to that. It's very muted. Very muted.
It is sort of like some of like the more high-end, older aged bourbons that I've tried.
Mm.
Oh, I saw.
It's
don't know if
almost.
you're on.
It's not earthy, but
It's got
maybe
an
like
umami
grain?
flavour to it, I would say.
yeah, it's cereal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were going to say.
I've
Sorry,
just seen it's got an umami flavour. I don't know if you're on r/whiskey.
I am, but they annoy me sometimes.
Oh, there's a guy who basically was like, look away now if you don't want to see something distressing. If you're a fan of good whiskey and you don't want to see something distressing now, his whole wall was just bourbons, but it was like all the single batch, like Buffalo Traces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he had it on. He had basically a bar with like a bunch of glass shelves above it.
Right.
And obviously the top shelves failed.
Oh.
And it smashed every shelf below it, and they've all fell off. And pretty much his entire whiskey collection, the bottles are all smashed.
That's painful.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where, I'll see if I can find it and send you the link just to see like how many, like it puts our combined whiskey collection to shame on volume.
Yeah, I've been trying to clear out some of my younger whiskey collection to improve it, but you know what we need to do really in terms of whiskey? Get more into his American ones.
I mean, they're cheaper for sure.
But I feel like we've done a lot of Scotch whiskey, and that's great because I'm quite happy to continue doing it because it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, but we are in, as with the Dram team, we are into the stage where there's nothing that's really core.
Yeah.
That we can get away with saying is like a. We
haven't
tried every single core expression, but like.
Yeah, no, of course not. But we have visited
to pick them up
out of 68 visitable distilleries. We've visited 28. I mean, you know, you get to the point where it's the ones that are scattered around.
Yeah.
Orkneys, Shetlands, that kind of thing. Highlands whiskey, you know, is all over the place. Turns out Scotland's quite a big country.
Yeah. Well, definitely. There's bits of it that are very remote, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, my plan now is to visit every single distillery that's visitable within the UK.
Oh, UK.
Mm-hmm.
That your bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair enough. Now, that I assume, is there any Northern Irish distilleries?
There must be. Well, we're going to tick off a couple hopefully at your stag do.
Well, not
I know they're
Northern
not.
Irish.
I know, but Irish.
Yeah.
That's a loaded geopolitical stance to take, isn't it? It's not Northern Irish, it's Irish, same thing.
Well, legitimately, Northern Ireland is Ireland. Like the reason there's a reason that it's called the United Kingdoms of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, because Great Britain is an island, Britain is an island.
Yeah.
Ireland is an island. So Northern Ireland is Ireland. It's just the British part It's
Yeah.
a United Kingdom part.
As long as
Ireland.
the majority of the people in Northern Ireland want to be British, then they get to be, basically.
They get to be members of the United Kingdom. You can't change
but
geography. That's
but
like
they don't have to be part of Ireland, is what I'm saying.
That's like saying if Greenland want to be Scandinavian, they can be. No, you're not in Scandinavia.
No, but if Northern Ireland wants to be part of
cultural, they can be
Yeah.
part of the United Kingdoms of Great
if they want
Britain.
to be part of the United Kingdom rather than part of the Republic of Ireland, then they're more than welcome.
It's just it's a problem I have. It is nomenclature, but
Yeah.
it's like, technically people in Australia would say Tasmanians aren't Australian, but they have the same parliament.
Yeah.
It's just a different island.
Whereas Northern Ireland has a different parliament, but
they have the same parliament as the United Kingdom.
Because they've got the Assembly or whatever it is, haven't they?
Yeah, but so is Scotland and Wales. Like, devolved parliaments aren't.
True. Yeah.
England
anyway,
have regional parliaments.
Before we discuss potentially fractious topics while 6 cask strength whiskies in, did you want to score this one?
I'm still drinking it, but I'm willing to score it. I would probably put this one.
I'm thinking a 4.
I'm in the 4 again.
Yeah.
The first 2 were something else.
They were very good.
Kick off Christmas with a bang.
Yeah, I must admit that our silent partner's probably not going to get any of them. And the thing is,
he should have came along.
If he complains before we talk about it, as in he's listened to the episode, I'll give him some.
Good point. Yeah, fair.
But if he doesn't,
chances of you uploading this before he comes over to taste any of these.
That sounds like a him problem. Yeah. He should have been here. If he had any dedication. Yeah.
I mean, you spoke to him today. He had enough warning.
Yeah. I told him what I was doing, and he never once said, "Give me a minute, I'll head over." He just said, "Oh, I'm so and so, and you're my hero." Yeah. Basically, is what he said to me.
Didn't even say I'll cycle up like the cyclist he is.
No, he was just like, "I wish I was you." No, usual stuff that he says.
Yeah. I'm from fucking Lancaster.
He's from Derbyshire, yeah. His usual nonsense. That was really good. That was a good first.
I mean, as a first 6, I'm definitely
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if you don't want spoilers when you're editing this, don't. I've numbered them by the whiskey numbers, so don't look at the next ones.
I shan't. I liked the surprise element. It was fun. But yes, so this is episode 1 of the Advent calendar. As my co-host has said, there will be 4 episodes from this, 3 of 6 and 1 of 7, because that makes 25.
Good luck on the 4th, because we will be drinking 7 whiskies.
Yeah, and this one's already been an hour and a half. So.
And we haven't even really diverted that hard. We had no
a little bit onto Pokemon and international relations, but other than that, yeah. But yes, I will try to. Our editor, who may or may not be me, will try to pepper these in between normal episodes, so you can listen to them at your leisure. But if you don't listen to them, then please don't subscribe because you're not a real fan and we hate you.
Yeah, we only really like true fans. We're like, what's his name? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I'm rambling now.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of whiskey.
We'll stop rambling. Thank you for listening. If you got this far, then give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Wake yourself up. Give yourself a pat on the back. And we will see you either at the next regular episode or at the next one of these special ones.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.